May Bali touch you the way she touched me, not softly, but wholly, not politely, but truthfully. May she open your heart, claim your belly, and return you to the place inside yourself where spirit has always been waiting for you. Om Shanti Shanti Om. And so it is.
Om Swastiastu.
Om
Om
Swastiastu.
Swastiastu, pemirsa. Hari ini saya berada di Puri Taman Sari, Desa Adat Umabian. Jadi kali ini edisi yang sedikit berbeda. I talk in Indonesia first. Saya hari ini bersama seorang sahabat, mungkin dibilang sahabat karena sebenarnya sahabat dari orang tua kami, almarhum orang tua kami, I Gusti Agung Prana. Jadi beliau dulunya mengarungi bahtera pariwisata di era 2000-an. Jadi kali ini saya ingin menghadirkan sahabat orang tua kami untuk bisa berbagi tentunya tentang esensi daripada Bali, sudut pandang teman kita yang satu ini tentang Bali dari outsider, dari wisatawan yang biasa datang ke Bali, dan juga pentingnya saya menghadirkan sahabat saya, mungkin saya katakan sahabat walaupun beliau ini jauh umurnya di atas saya, karena beliau ini adalah seorang mentor untuk bagaimana mengembangkan pariwisata Bali ke depannya melalui berbagai karya tulis yang ibu ini buat untuk Bali kita tercinta. Jadi saya akan berbahasa Indonesia, tentunya akan didampingi, ditranslate di bawah ini akan ada translation English. So for those who are in international language can see the translation below. And today we would like to share about the journey of my best friend, my mentor, my auntie, my spiritual friend, and my father's friend. She is Ibu Lilly White.
Suksimo, and Suksimo for having me on today and being my best friend and
you,
my
Ibu.
mentor.
Thank you.
With all your creativity, Bagus, I am honored deeply to be here today with all of you.
Yeah, just now I in doing introduction to Indonesian viewers.
Yes.
That today we are very proud, we are very excited to invite you to talk, to share about the journey, about your journey here in Bali, your journey with my father, in terms of your thought about Bali events and how Bali is very important to you. And at the beginning, and then by the end, you have a lot of books about Bali. So please tell about yourself first, Ibu.
Thank you, everybody, and it's a pleasure to be here. I wish I understood Indonesian. I know a few words. In 23 years, can you believe it? Only a few words. I'm actually dyslexic, so the fact that I've written almost 10 books is in itself a miracle. That all comes from Spirit. I have not written any of them. Spirit directs me and I write. So you'll forgive me if I have a difficult time spelling and pronouncing words. So I will need your help with some of them today. So thank you so much for understanding.
Yes.
That's who I am. That's how God made me, because I see symbolically.
Yeah.
But I'd like to tell you how this all started. 22 years ago, actually, I decided to become an angel therapist.
22 years
2 years ago. I wanted to study angels, so I ended up in Laguna Beach, California, to become certified as an angel therapist. I'd been seeing angels, I've been seeing as a medium since I've been 5 years of age. I've always embraced the unseen. It was part of who I am. And this one day in Laguna Beach, I met this wonderful woman by the name of Shankari. And she is a wizard, if I've ever met one, and a very creative jeweler. So she happened to be there showing me some of her jewels. And I said to her, she asked about me, and I said, well, you know, my husband is presently in East Timor for 18 months with the UN, doing some work there. And he and I have decided that we'll meet in Hawaii for our family reunion.
Okay.
Oh, she looks at me and says, Lily, why would you go to Hawaii when I have a sacred retreat in Bali? And Bali is only a 45-minute flight to East Timor. Well, she had me. So that was March. The following March, 2003, John is in East Timor, and we decide to come to her sacred retreat in Tabanan.
In Tabanan.
In Tabanan. Now, it's vegetarian. You got to remember, John's in East Timor. He wants his meat and potatoes when he's here in Bali. So we stayed there for a few days, and one day we decided to take a trip to the island. Mejen, again, help me with the island where we snorkel.
Menjangan.
Menjangan. So we're on our way to Menjangan with a few people, and a storm comes up. That storm changed my life because we decided to go back to shore. And
Oh, you had a storm in Menjangan.
yes, just before we got to the island.
Okay.
So when we went back, one of the girls said, she was from LA, she said, let's go over to this resort while we wait out the storm. We ended up in Puri Tamansari.
In Tamansari.
In Pamutaran.
Pamutaran.
So John and I look and we see the Bali Sea in front of us. Didn't know anything else about it, but we decided in that moment we need to come to that place, to go to Pamutaran. So we went back to Shankari, explained it to her. We wanted to be on the ocean, and she understood. So the next day we go. And that evening, and this is how I met Agun Prana. That evening, John is inside, and he's taking his time getting ready. And I go outside, and there's this gorgeous frangipani tree. And I'd never seen frangipani so in bloom, nor had I ever seen them in my country. And they are literally falling on top of me. And suddenly, I hear this beautiful, soft voice, oh, and who might you be? So I turned around, and this beautiful looking gentleman, all dressed in white, black hair slicked back with his beautiful mustache, I looked at him, and his first comment was, oh, and are you interested in spirituality? And I almost said, does a bear meditate in the woods? But I didn't. I said, yes, how do you know? He said, well, you're all dressed in white. And I said, well, it's very hot here. I feel like I'm in a sauna. So John came out, he introduced himself, and then he politely says, would you like to dine with me tonight? So we go to the restaurant, and we're having a dinner, and lo and behold, we find out that he owns the resort. So that evening, he says, would you like to journey with me tomorrow to my home in Umubian at Puri Tamansari? Now, I want to explain to you the coincidence and the significance of this story, because Tamansari means Garden of the Angels. And here where we're filming today, it's actually the palace of Garden of the Angels. So the fact that I was studying angels, I was an angel therapist by then, it intrigued both Agun Prana, your dad, and myself. And that is how we met. And from that day forward, from that storm, my life has never been the same. Not one moment of it. Agun Prana took me under his wing. John kept going back and forth to Timor that year, and I kept coming back here. I did spend some time with him in Timor, but I couldn't wait to get back to Bali. And then when I went home, I'll never forget getting on that flight and knowing that I would return. So the following year, I returned with 9 other women. And that in itself is a story. Because when Your father took me to Ubud one night into this gorgeous hotel where the Goodmans were.
Yes.
And that night in a dream, I heard Spirit say to me, you need to take people to Bali. And I said to Spirit, who's going to travel with me halfway around the world and spend $10,000? And Spirit said this, $3,500 is what you can do it for. So I said to Spirit, I challenged, yeah, let's see that happen. So the next morning we got up and we had breakfast with the Goodmans, and they had a few guests there
Yes.
that they were taking. And they explained to me how they were doing it. So I said to Prana on the way home, I'm ready. I'll be here next year. I go back to Canada, and this is as true as I'm sitting here. Within 3 weeks, I'm in the market in Ottawa, and I see a sign at a travel agency, Bali, $1,200. I go in. I don't have any women by that time, but I booked for 9 people, and I gave them a small deposit. And within a month, I had the 9 women. And that began the journey of me bringing people here on a yearly basis. And as you know, as we discussed yesterday, I take people here to Bali. I don't make a penny off of this. I charge exactly what is quoted to me to bring people here for 14 days, because this is not about making money. This is about bringing people to experience all the truths and all the love and all the wisdom that Spirit has given me.
Ya, luar biasa sekali dari apa yang disampaikan oleh Ibu Lilly, merupakan sebuah perjalanan dengan almarhum orang tua kami, Aibtu Haji Agung Prana, yang pada saat itu memulai pertemuannya di tahun 2003 di tempat kami di Taman Sari di Pemutaran. Esensi dari semua yang Ibu jelaskan adalah pertemuan antara dua seorang sahabat yang memang seharusnya bertemu, akhirnya bertemu juga. Memang skenario yang di atas itu tidak bisa kita prediksi. Jadi persahabatan, komitmen terhadap budaya Bali, komitmen terhadap ritual yang terjadi di Bali, sangat tinggi apresiasinya dari Ibu Lilly White, yang sampai saat ini tetap membawa teman-temannya dari Kanada untuk bisa menikmati esensi Bali dari sudut pandang yang memang aslinya. Bagaimana bisa menikmati, mengikuti, dan mengalami proses yang ada di Bali, baik itu berupa ritual, tata cara kehidupan, budaya, alam. Nah, inilah yang menjadikan Ibu Lilly bersama orang tua kami dulu, dan sampai sekarang kami meneruskannya, bagaimana kami bisa tetap menciptakan sebuah produk atau komitmen atau keberlangsungan dari teman-teman yang ada di Kanada, wisatawan yang ada di Kanada, datang ke Bali, bisa menikmati Bali seutuhnya. Bali yang memang Bali gitu. Jadi itulah yang disampaikan. Malah apa yang disampaikan oleh Ibu Lilly, bisnis yang dia jalankan, grup yang dia bawa ke Bali, kalau orang Bali bilang seperti ngayah, lebih ke dedikasi, lebih ke assignment daripada Ibu Lilly untuk memberikan mereka treatment yang sangat bermanfaat untuk kehidupan mereka ke depannya. Jadi kalau kami dari keluarga besar di Taman Sari dan keluarga besar kami di sini sangat berterima kasih. We would like to say thank you very much, Ibu, for the commitment and for the appreciation for the culture, community, ritual, roots of Bali. So we are on behalf of our family, on behalf of the team at Taman Sari here in Puri, Taman Sari and community of this village also, would like to share our grateful that you totally bringing the energy life. Because sometimes as a Balinese, we have to be more focused into our traditional, our cultural environment conservation, because we also have a very big mission to create a quality tourism in Bali. Means that respect tourists who come to Bali have to be respect of our culture, our tradition, and environment. That's the goal. That's the mission of my father that you working together with. So we are very appreciate about your that commitment. Jadi hari ini juga Ibu Lily ini karena seringnya ke Bali dan sangat intens dengan spiritualisme yang ada di Bali, bertemu dengan banyak tokoh-tokoh spiritual di Bali, bertemu dengan banyak seniman budayawan di Bali, dan membuat sebuah kolaborasi, bekerja bersama-sama untuk menghasilkan karya cipta, baik itu karya cipta seni dan karya cipta buku. Jadi hari ini pun kita ingin membahas juga dan mengapresiasi berbagai buku yang diluncurkan oleh Ibu Lily, semuanya tentang Bali, tentang chapter-chapter dari tahun 2003 hingga kini. Ibu Lily datang ke Bali dan setiap chapternya yang penting dibukukan. Jadi I told to the Indonesian viewers that your visit to Bali also doing many various collaboration in terms of spiritual and cultural. So that collaboration is a produce songs, dances, and books.
Yes.
So can you explain about all your works? Lily?
Yes, but first of all, because I really want you and the viewers to know that, and I thank you for thanking me, but it is I that thank you, your father, your family, your sacred family, your mother, Agun Arini, Agun Wa, Agun Daisy, and all your children, and the community. I would never have learnt as much as I have without you, because you also introduced me to Monk Made, our healer, who's actually healing cancer, as we know. So I appreciate the thank you, the suksuma, but I bestow it tenfold onto you, because I would not be here without you. So the books.
The books, yes.
My first book that I wrote is called Into the Heart of Bali.
That's your first book.
This is my first book, and I actually published this 5 years ago. And this book, you know, it took me 2 years to write, and usually I write very quickly, and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't finish it until I was here for your father's cremation.
Yes.
And then I realized that's how it had to end. And there is a story, if you'd ever like me to tell you, about how I knew your dad was going to go.
Yes.
We can get into that a little later if you wish. But you know, Bali calls you. I always say to clients that want to come with me to Bali, if you are coming to sip cocktails and sit by the ocean, this is not the trip for you. When they complain, Lily, it's so far to go, I ask the question, what is your soul stamina? How often can you go somewhere for 24 hours, watch movies, be served, and sleep? So relax. Bali has called you. You're going home to the soul of who you are. Relax and let your soul stamina, not your mental body, but your spirit body, what I call have you. Let it have you. So when I wrote this, most of this book is about the different groups that I brought here, how I began channeling. At first, when I was channeling here, as you know, it was with Malanting, the goddess of creativity. I would go into trance and I would start doing a dance that I'd never done before. But as I've aged now, I've been channeling Ratu Niang. And she is full of wisdom. And last year, she finally came through to me in English. So I can do some channeling home in Canada if people are interested in that for wisdom. But this book, you know, there was one mystic. I don't know if you've heard of Andrew Harvey. You had the pleasure of meeting Andrew. Andrew has been known as the greatest mystic of our time BBC actually did a documentary on him
Yes.
about being the greatest mystic of our time. And we were blessed to have him here with us as a guest twice in Bali. So you'll read all about his experiences with us here also in this book. So after I finished writing this, I started writing other books. As I've said, I'm up to my 10th right now. And last year, I brought a group of 8 women. And your brother Agunwa even commented that he had never seen a group that was so in depth of the learnings and the teachings and taking it all in. They weren't here for a holiday. They were here to be initiated. And they were. And we went, this book is the belly of Bali. So we have the heart of Bali, but then we have the belly of Bali. And this one is all about our trip to the cave in
Nusa Penida,
Nusa Penida.
Giri Putri Cave.
The
Gua Giri Putri. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
And if you have not visited that cave, you have not experienced the whole of Bali. Because that cave, it's fantastic when you go in. You're walking up these stairs and you're wondering, where am I going? And then you go in and a priest is there to greet you. And then you sit and we have ceremony and we have
Prayers.
And then you look to the right of you and there's this little hole. And you think, how am I going to get in there?
No, it's not for me. It's not for me.
Not for me. But you climb in very gracefully. And when you look, you're in a city of temples. It's unbelievable. We've taken some pictures and they're in this book, Into the Belly of Bali. And those 8 women, out of those 8, I've asked 4. I've given them all an opportunity, but 4 got back to me,
Yes.
that to do a chapter of their own experience of Into the Belly of Bali.
Sharing experience.
So it's a sharing experience. This is not about Lilly. This is about Bali and the experience in Bali. So as I like to say in this book, that the heart of Bali is how Bali found me. I was called. But the belly of Bali claimed me. And now I'm on my 3rd book that I will have finished by the time I leave here. And it's called Into the Spirit of Bali.
Into the Spirit of
But
Bali.
Into the Spirit of Bali is totally initiating me in more ways than I could have ever imagined. And this is not about the spirit. Yes, there's some of it about channeling and spirit, etc. But this book, Into the Spirit of Bali, is about the spirit of its people. It's about the spirit of consuming the food with love. It's about the spirit of the ocean and what it gives us.
Yes.
It's about the floral fauna. And if we listen, it has a voice and it integrates within us.
Yes.
So everything in Bali has spirit. It's alive. And we have that home in North America, but we're not adept to listen and to feel it like the Balinese are. The Balinese have sacred ceremony for everything, as you know. The blessing of the food. Every day here in Bali, you will see somebody go and they're blessing their temples. Each home has 3 temples. Can you explain? I've explained it in the book, but those 3 temples are very important.
Yeah, if we talk about ritual
Yes.
and religion, our religion is Bali.
Yes.
Our religion is Bali because we have our daily activities, daily ritual, respecting all living things.
That's it.
In Bali, in Sanskrit way, we call it Sarva Prani Hitankara. So every living things, we have to be focus, respect, and live together. So that's the Magama Bali, means the Bali religion. And I'm interested and would like to share about your experience regarding the books, also regarding the way the Holy Spirits in Bali deal with you.
Yes.
Niki Semeton, ini menarik. I have to share with my viewers, Indonesian viewers. Ibu Lilly ini karena kedalaman spiritualnya, kita tidak bicara masalah agama di sini, tapi kita berbicara masalah kepercayaan. Bagaimana kita respect dengan semua yang ada di semesta ini, khususnya kalau kita bicara di Bali. Di Bali, dalam sebuah ritual keagamaan sering ada terjadinya trans atau kerauhan. Spirits datang ke dalam media body kita dan kita dalam state of trance. Nah, Ibu Lilly juga tidak terlepas walaupun warga negara Kanada, dari Kanada datang ke Bali, dari Holy Spirit, tatanan spirit yang ada di Bali sangat menyenangi Ibu Lilly. Jadi sering mempergunakan medium Ibu Lilly ini untuk melakukan sebuah eksistensi bahwa spirit itu ada, entah itu menari, entah itu bernyanyi. Nah, sampailah pada sebuah state keadaan di mana Holy Spirit ini banyak membantu Ibu Lilly untuk memecahkan berbagai macam masalah atau membantu rekanannya, teman-temannya. Dan ini sudah diberlaku juga di Kanada. Jadi Holy Spirit yang ada di Bali datang juga ke Canada. As I'm saying that the Bali Holy Spirits joining you in Canada and helping people in Canada with Ibu Lilly. Jadi ini sesuatu yang menarik karena ini semua berbasiskan kepercayaan, semua berbasiskan keyakinan dan bagaimana kita respect terhadap tatanan Holy Spirit yang ada di semesta ini. Jadi perjalanan spiritual seorang Ibu Lilly ini bagi kami orang Bali yang hidup di Bali, ini seperti kalau orang Bali bilang ngelingang atau ngentenin raga bahwa kita harus lebih kuat lagi dengan fondasi yang kita punya. Tatanan yang ada di Bali itu tetap kita harus respect, kita harus kuatkan. Jadi dengan adanya kehadiran Ibu Lilly, wisatawan-wisatawan yang betul-betul mengapresiasi keberadaan ritual budaya yang ada di Bali, itulah yang akan membangkitkan pariwisata Bali yang berkualitas. Dengan adanya pariwisata yang Bali yang berkualitas, otomatis ayahan ini mesari. Kalau nak Bali ini, Kang, ayahan ini mesari dan bisa memberi manfaat untuk lingkungan, untuk masyarakat, dan untuk ayah-ayahan raga kepura. Di desa sendiri kan kita ada kayangan 3, pusah, desa, dalam. Dan itu dengan adanya pariwisata yang berkualitas ini paling wenten sarin ayahan raga ngidang raga ngaturang gitu. Ke ide sesuunan sana yang melinggih di sawawangkon desa adat yang ada di Bali. So I'm explaining that your trip to Bali, your visit to Bali in a very special spiritual journey, it's also supporting our culture, our legacy, and our tradition. That by people come visiting Bali as a tourist, that's business. That's business. So the economic value going to be...
It's important.
Yeah, this is important. For us, let's say in Bali, to protect our temple, to run a ritual, to run a ceremony, that's cost. That's a lot of cost.
Yeah.
So tourism, quality tourism help us, support us to maintain the temple, to maintain the ceremony, to maintain culture. By more and more quality tourism in Bali, and it's going to be a very hard movement, and also it's very big movement also from a Balinese community to protect our culture. That's the coincidence, and that's the what we call the connection. And also very deep message from my father, as always, make tourism as an effective tool for cultural and Mother Earth conservation.
Yes.
So tourism, not using tourism as to destroy the environment, but use the tourism to restore, to conserve your culture and your Mother Nature. That's the key point.
And your brilliant father, when it comes to tourism, he also integrated his whole community in Pamutran.
Yes.
By opening up Tamansari and eventually Amarta, It's all employed by locals.
Yes.
And then he turns around with scientists, I believe from Germany,
Yes.
and they start the
Conservation.
conservation
Conservation.
reef, coral reef. So when we are snorkeling just inches away, a couple of feet from our villas, we can snorkel and see all the corals that were dying come back to life from the brilliance of prana and this scientist. They have these wires underground now that's sending electricity all through these structures that they've built in the sea.
Yeah.
So, and now other people around the world are following. And actually, Agun Prana has won a CNN award based
Yeah.
on some of his work with
Yeah.
this and with spirituality just before he passed away
Yes.
in 2018. But I want to tell you how spirit calls you. When my first trip here in 2003, I was on the shores of Bali. And I got up early enough to go and watch the sunrise for 6:20.
Yeah.
And as I'm sitting there, I hear Lilly, because I hear Ibu Lilly because that's what I'm known as here,
Yeah.
and which is out of respect, Mother
Yes.
Lilly. Even at 48 years old, I was Mother Lilly when I first came here. And I heard this, Ibu Lilly, please remember, because I have altars in my home, but please remember, when you are teaching your clients, that an altar is very sacred, as it is in Bali, and it alters the consciousness. So when you place an altar in your home, not in Bali, but if we want to bring Bali spirit home with us,
Yes.
then the altar is a sacred space to pray
Yeah.
and to give offerings every day.
Yeah.
And then I heard this. Also, remember, when you burn incense, it's not just for the ambiance. It is every time you light up incense, Ibu, you are bringing in the essence of spirit. And that solidified itself in me. And it's one of the first teachings that I give when people are doing my work. And interesting enough, my work, after I studied the angel therapist, I decided to study with a woman in Chicago for 2 years by the name of Carolyn Mace.
Yes.
And Carolyn's book, Sacred Contracts, is all about embracing the light and shadow. Now, do you think that's a coincidence that at the same time I decided to study with her, I started traveling to Bali? I don't think so. Bali was calling me, but wanted me to be prepared. So my teachings are about the patterns of behavior that we're born with, and each one of them they carry an essence of light in us and shadow. Or if we don't have that, we cannot be balanced. Yet, most people, because they're in mind body, are terrified of their shadow. They don't want to look at it.
Yeah.
So my work that Spirit has directed me with is to allow people to see themselves wholly. Not H-O-L-Y, yes that, but W-H-O-L-L-Y. To bring in all the essence of Spirit within us. And when we have that knowledge, nothing can touch us ever again. Our self-esteem rises, and once we believe in something bigger than ourselves, our self-esteem is intact because we know we're working in conjunction with Spirit. It's why I say, just for today, let Spirit have you in all ways, and to be aware but never afraid. There's never any need of being afraid.
Yes.
And I remember one time your father said to me, Ibu, what does it feel like when you leave your body? And I tried to explain to him. And, my first experience of leaving my body was in 2005, I had a group of 15 people. There were some from the US and the rest of Canada. And my husband and daughter and her future husband were with us. So we're in your mother's sister doing channeling.
My auntie.
Your auntie. And so each person is going up to auntie, and auntie is channeling an ancestor or someone that's left the world, and they're coming through her to the person in front of her. So I get up there, And I'm expecting my daughter to come in because we had lost our daughter
Yes.
previous. And actually, that's not true because Melanie left at 2012, but that was 2005. So I was expecting my grandmother.
Yeah.
That's who it was. And suddenly, I pass out. I just poop, down I go. And when I woke up, I started doing this dance that I had never experienced before.
Yeah.
And then the priest came after I was finished
Yes.
channeling, and he holy water, and I came back. But here's what I know. I felt, not that I know. If I say I know, I'm in my head, okay? So
Yeah.
correct me. What I felt was the body, the essence of who Lily is still there.
Yes.
And you channel, so you're aware of this.
Yes.
So it's like we go to sleep. And so in the distance, I could see and watch myself in awe of what's happening. And then when the holy water comes on, then I come back in.
Yeah.
So that was my first experience with channeling. And my husband was not impressed because they thought something happened to me
Yeah.
when I looked like I had died because
Yeah.
there was, you know what it's like. You're
Yeah.
just totally out because spirit is entering you. But over time, it happens so much to me now that he's very, very accepting of it. So that was one of the first times. And then I've been channeling ever since.
Yeah.
And always aware, though, that I am still here, but I'm just stepped away and let spirit have me. One of the beautiful things that I experienced the first time I did that channeling was I literally laughed out loud for 2 days because the joy is so infectious. And one of the big lessons I learned from that, Bagus, was stop taking ourselves so seriously. We're so much into our mind body that everything gets heavy and weighty and stressful. But at the end of the day, if we hand it over and ask for guidance, there's more of a flow than block, block, block. And it's comical how we try to survive. And I'm not taking away from people that are really going through difficult times.
Yes.
And you know, with the loss of our daughter and other things that have come up in our lives and your life,
Yes.
that there are difficult times. But the big thing, and my mantra is, this too shall pass. Because spirit is in charge. If I try to be in charge, it hangs on and it hangs on and it hangs on. So I have learned to let go of that control. Because if I try to control, I'm in my mind body again.
Ya. Ya, jadi luar biasa sharing dari Ibu Lily bagaimana Ibu Lily deal dengan Holy Spirit, dengan tatanan suci yang kerap datang, kerap hadir, kerap membantu, berkolaborasi, respect bersama-sama, respect dengan Ibu Lily respect dengan Holy Spirit. Itulah yang memang terjadi karena kita deal dengan sesuatu yang tidak terlihat. Jadi semua esensi dari itu adalah kepercayaan dan rasa. That's all about respect and feeling. Respect and feeling.
That's it.
And also when the spirit taking over you, and so time will tell, all will be fit in the perfect time.
Yes.
And once it's perfect, then you will have direct assignment, step assigned.
Do it.
Yeah, do it, and you have to help people.
Yes.
You have to share, and that's the most important thing, that helping people in so many ways you can do it. So return back again to your
Yes.
books, Ibu.
I want to also say, though, you know, one of the big teachings that I've learned, and I think I learned this from Carolyn, is we have a tendency to say, I don't deserve this. Who are we not to? We are not here because we deserve anything.
Yeah.
We are basically here to serve humanity.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's one person at a time. And that may be enough. Because that one person changes and another person changes.
Yes.
So what would you like to know, more about the books?
I read.
You want me to read
Yes, I
something?
read your
Okay, you
book.
read it?
Your
Yes.
book, and I'm very curious, interested with one of the poem there. It's about Bali. Can you read it?
Yes, I
Yeah.
don't have my glasses. No, but let's see.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have my glasses for 2 days, and I found out that I can read without them. So let's just see. The one that he's talking about is he actually made a song. And every time I hear it, I weep because it's so filled with love. And these are the words. So I start with love is something you seek. Or love is not something you seek. It is something you remember. Think about that. You know love. You simply have to remember it in
Yes.
yourself. Because spirit, the soul of who you are, is only love. The brain will tell you something else. But that's just the lie that we continually tell ourselves. So the poem that he wrote the song on is, may Bali touch you the way she touched me, not softly, but wholly. Wholly. Not politely, but truthfully. May she open your heart, claim your belly, and return you to the place inside yourself where spirit has it's always been
Been
waiting.
waiting.
And then I end with Om Shanti
Shanti,
Shanti Om. May she open your heart, claim your belly, and return you to the place inside yourself where spirit has always been waiting. If you get nothing else out of this today, just think about those words and you will wake up
Yeah.
like the rest of us did.
I love that poem, and
Thank you.
when I open this book,
Yes.
so the page that firstly shown up is this lyric.
Oh, was
Yeah.
it? So that was the
And
one you
once I read
decided.
the lyric, and I decide to make a song.
Oh, that I
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
appreciate that. I'm just looking for the poem that I ended with this. Into the heart of Bali, if I can, or into the heart, if I can
Yes.
read it. It's at the end. The beloved is in me, and the beloved is in you. As life is hidden in every seed, so rumble your pride, my friend, and look for her within you. When I sit in the heart of Bali, her world, a million suns blaze with light. A burning blue sea spreads across the sky. Life's turmoils falls away. All the strains of suffering wash away. Listen to the unstuck, the hells, the bells, and the drums. Love is here. Plunge into the rapture. Rain pours down without water. Rivers are streams of light. How could I ever express how blessed I feel to revel in such vast ecstasy in my own body? This is the music of soul and soul meeting, of the forgetting of all grief. This is the music. That is not from me, actually. That is from Andrew Harvey. That is from our sacred Andrew Harvey, our Alpha and our Omega.
So this is demikian mungkin pemirsa, teman-teman yang ada di rumah. Thank you very much, Ibu, for your time to share this journey, to share your dedication, to share your commitment, and to share your energy with us, the family, with the team, the community, the culture, the Holy Spirit, the environment.
Thank you.
Bali is you.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you very much,
Bali
Ibu.
lives in us.
Yes.
Before we leave,
Yeah.
there's a story I'd like to share with
Oh,
you
yeah.
about when I knew your father was going to leave.
Yes.
And I want to tell you this story because some of you know this inside of you, and you've heard this, you've seen it or you felt it, but you didn't understand it. So I was here with Andrew in 2000 and a group in 2015
Yeah.
in November. in November, I believe it was. And I went home, and John and I then went to Florida. And while I'm in Florida, there is a crystal every full moon that I put out for cleansing.
Yes.
And I looked outside, and on the crystal is a dove. And I immediately knew it was your father. I just felt it was your father.
Yeah.
So I went outside and I sat with your father. And he told me he was getting ready to leave. So I'm trying to get the dates. We must have been here in April, perhaps,
Yes,
with Andrew.
yes.
It was April. So then that January. So while I was there and he told me he was getting ready to leave, of course, I went into my headspace and I panicked. And I text Madej. And I said, Madej, is Prana okay? Oh, Ibu, he's fine. He's a little low,
Yeah.
but he's fine. Don't worry. So then I text your brother,
Yeah.
and he gave me the same information, that he's very tired, but
Yeah.
he's okay, not to worry. So I
Yeah.
said, fine. But I'm not a fluent astrologer, but with my work with working with angels, archetypes, and astrology, I know some. So I looked at your father's chart, and he had a transit there that is transformation,
Yes.
and there's a possibility of him leaving.
Yeah.
So I called Andrew, and I said, Andrew, I think Prana is getting ready to leave. And he said, well, we just saw him. No, he's fine, Lily. No, he's not. And I said, okay, fine. But in my heart, I knew, because usually the stars don't lie. But when I looked at your father's chart, that transit was ending the 30th of June of that year. And I thought, good. Once the day, 30th of June, the 1st of July came, I was happy. Now, before that, though, I decided to come on my own in February of that year. And I spent the whole month with your father alone. It was the first time he and I had all that time alone. He took me all over Bali, showed me things I had not seen before. We spent a lot of time in Pemuteran, and I recorded him because I was writing into the heart of Bali. That was the last time I saw him.
Yeah.
It was that February. And then the 30th of June came, and I thought, good, the transit's finished. Prana is still alive. And then your brother texted me on the 6th of July, I believe it was. So the transit was off by a week.
Yeah.
So I tell you this story, and not because I know anything. I simply listen to the feeling and to your father's voice. That voice will come to you when you need it. Please pray attention and pray intention, and ask Spirit to guide you the way it guides the Balinese. As Bagus was saying, Bali is a religion. Yes, they're Hindu, most of them here now in Bali, of course. There are Muslims that are living here also. But the Hindu religion is not the religion. It's Bali religion, and is entirely different. And that's what I've been initiated in this trip that I cannot wait to write about. So thank you again for your time.
Thank you very much, Ibu. Thank you. Terima kasih teman-teman, semeton, sahabat-sahabat yang juga kenal dengan Ibu Lilly, yang sempat berkolaborasi dengan Ibu Lilly. Mari kita lanjutkan kolaborasi ini, hubungan baik ini tentunya untuk Bali dan untuk semesta. Terima kasih, salam harmoni into the belly of Bali. Rahayu, Om Santi,
Santi, Santi,
Santi,
Santi,
Om. Rahayu.